She was the perfect daughter from a perfect family, voted most likely to succeed. But when you hear the secret she whispered to her boyfriend, you'll understand how she became a murderer. This is the story of a 16-year-old girl from a devout, church-going family. The kind of home where you'd expect laughter, not bloodshed. But one violent night, her world burned to the ground. I was told you had a beautiful singing voice. Is that still true? It is. Would you sing for me now? All right. That haunting melody came from a young woman serving a life sentence. My view of her, a killer, plain and simple. I've never met anyone so perilous, and I pray I never do. Hearing her sing was chilling. Thank you. You truly can sing. It forces a difficult question. After speaking with you, I cannot reconcile the person I see with someone who desired the death of her own family. It defies our logic. A single lie requires 1,000 more to bury it. A mother, 39, and 2 young sons, 8 and 13, were discovered inside their incinerated home. We were just a regular family, getting by each day. Did you shoot those children? No. They were trapped in the fire. I didn't do it. A part of me thought, if I die, the truth dies with me. I had to survive to name the guilty. My heart shattered for her at first. Her account was believable. I was traveling to meet her father, Terry, at the property. The family was deeply religious. The mother homeschooled the kids. Terry hadn't returned to the land in years. My initial thought, Terry, is how serene it is here. Peaceful. You'd never imagine such horror in a place so tranquil. That night, though, was chaos. Deafening noise. Gunfire. What was the first sign something was wrong? Silence. We were asleep. Then, our bedroom door burst open, BM, hitting the wall. I thought maybe my youngest had a nightmare. But instantly, bam bam bam. Gunfire. We were under attack. You identified one of the intruders. Charles Wilkinson. So you realized your daughter's ex-boyfriend was part of this. The young man who'd been in your home countless times. I knew why. Revenge. We'd forced him to end the relationship. I heard my son, Matthew, scream. Charlie, why? Please no. Then more shots. Matthew was hit. I tried to stand, to reach my boys upstairs, but a wall of flames blocked me. The house was swallowed in fire. Forced back, I saw my wife, Penny. I knew she was gone. They hadn't just used guns. They used a blade like a samurai sword. She was nearly beheaded. In that shock, I thought, if I can just reach the neighbors, we can fix this. Save them. Then it hit me. If I die here, they'll never be identified. I have to live. I must name them. 911, what's your emergency? This is Tommy Gaston. A man's been shot at my house. There's also a fire. An assault on a small-town family left a mother and 2 boys dead, a father fighting for his life. The community was shaken. Nothing this brutal had ever happened here. From his hospital bed, Terry identified Charlie. He was arrested with the others. The victims were found, but the daughter, Erin, was missing. When police searched Charlie's trailer, they found something bizarre. The place was a mess. Clothes, a mattress on the floor. I noticed what looked like a blonde wig. Lifting it, I found Erin Caffey, alive, staring back at us. It startled everyone. She claimed she'd been drugged, kidnapped. But within 48 hours, the ugly truth surfaced. Authorities went to Terry's hospital room. Sir, we need to discuss your daughter's role. Is she involved? Yes. His world collapsed a second time. I was given 1 hour with Erin Caffey at the prison. Investigators were adamant. The plan was hers. She has always denied it. Hello. Good to meet you. You're smaller than I imagined. 4 feet 11 inches. And your age now? 24. You've been incarcerated for going on 8 years. You were 16 when this occurred. Looking back, can you believe that girl was you? Not really. Given our life, our faith, I was voted at youth camp, most likely to succeed. Also most fun to be around. I never pictured myself here. That's staggering. Most likely to succeed. A loving family. Yet it ends in catastrophic murder. What in God's name happened? When I reflect, and I see other young people coming into this system, it's about decisions. The small choices I made, thinking they only affected me. Those small things accumulate, then explode. We don't consider consequences. When your father looked you in the eye and asked if you were involved, what did you say? He told me he loved me first, then asked if I had any part in it. Seeing him there, injured, I said no. He just said, okay, let's not discuss it. Seeing his arm in a sling made it real. Your mother was gone. Your brothers. This was no nightmare. This case was the most disturbing I'd ever encountered. Not the highest victim count, nor the most gruesome alone, but the totality of circumstances was utterly chilling. I simply couldn't believe she'd do this. To her own brothers. Your mother. Looking back, it was all so senseless. For what? They weren't abusive. I had everything. A car, a job. What's your assessment of Erin Caffey? I need a moment. Everyone needs time to process Erin. Her actions were completely misaligned with her upbringing, her environment. It didn't fit her, nor the other 3 boys. That's what made this so baffling. What made them think this was viable? That they could escape consequences? It defied all reason. It still does. A town east of Dallas is reeling tonight from an attack that claimed a mother and 2 sons, leaving a father hospitalized. In custody, Bobby Johnson, Charles Wade, and Charles Wilkinson, the ex-boyfriend of 16-year-old Erin Caffey. Let me ask you directly. You shot her father, correct? Yes. Did you shoot the kids? No. I can comprehend you shooting the father, given your rage. But I cannot see you killing 2 little boys. It makes no sense. Making sense of this tragedy boils down to one question. Was Erin Caffey a cold, calculating architect of murder, or a vulnerable teenager ensnared by the influence of a manipulative partner? Looking back, were there warning signs? Something you recognize now? One thing. When she started seeing Charlie, she changed. Before, she was joyful. He altered that. There was something in his eyes, an emptiness, an overpolite facade. I sensed something was wrong. As the relationship deepened, her parents grew worried. Her mother found his social media page, references to drinking, promiscuity. Any parent would panic. We knew we had to intervene. We sat her down. You cannot see him anymore. She took it calmly. Head down, a few tears. She said she'd been wanting to end it, but didn't know how. I was unsure how to interpret that. Then consider it done. I was devastated. Hurt. This was the man I planned to marry. You loved him? At 16, did I know what true love was? At the time, yes. I was in love. He claimed the only way to be together was to eliminate my family. I can't speak for him. Did you ever say that to him? No. What conversations did you have about harming your family? He treated it like a game. He had a code name for it. FUBAR. He'd say, let's just FUBAR. I'd laugh it off. I didn't take him seriously. He had a temper. I dismissed it. Bobby Johnson and Charles Wade picked up Charlie. They drove to Erin's house near midnight. The family dog barked. They fled. Then Erin called Charlie. I'll handle the dog. Come back. They collected her. The 4 drove to a cemetery, sat for an hour, discussing the plan. This is the moment that haunts me. Why did no one say, this is madness? No one did. They returned. The boys parked on the road. Erin and Bobby waited in back. Charlie and Charles approached. Erin had left the door unlocked. Charlie shot Terry first, then Penny. The gun jammed. He grabbed a sword. Penny was stabbed, nearly decapitated. The brothers upstairs heard commotion, yelled. Charles Wade went up, shot Matthew. Charlie took a knife, found Tyler hiding in a closet. That detail remains the most horrifying. Then, they used lighters bought earlier, ignited the house, and left. Charles and Bobby dropped Erin and Charlie at a trailer, where they were intimate. Then the others went home. By morning, Charlie was arrested. Under questioning, he pointed to Erin as the instigator. Yet in the hospital, she maintained her kidnapping story. I requested a full talk screen on Miss Caffey. I asked if her clothes smelled of smoke. If you're in a burning building, you reek of it. The officer reported, no smoke odor. Erin, you claimed you woke surrounded by smoke. That 2 men with swords were there. Can you repeat what they told you? To get down, stay down. Where were you? In the house. That's my last memory until the police woke me. You've been labeled the ringleader, the mastermind. That this was your idea. The media, they seize a fragment and amplify it. How do you square that with the facts? You were inside. You made numerous calls. You sat in that car, knowing they'd entered with weapons. What was in your mind then? I couldn't hear anything. You knew their mission. Weren't you thinking? I guess. I wasn't. What people find incomprehensible is that afterward, you were with your boyfriend. You were intimate, knowing he had just killed your family. The best way I can explain, it's like telling one lie. You tell another to cover it, then another. You become entangled. An investigator called you the most skilled liar he'd ever met. I don't know about that. I sense you're being truthful to a limit. A barrier exists. You won't admit to being that person, because it's easier. The reality is too heavy. You wish to keep your story. That's fine. What I heard last night was different. Charlie, get rid of my parents. I'm tired of the beatings. I saw her today. Not a single bruise. Did you see any? I didn't. She claimed her mother shoved her, slapped her. Is that worth killing over? No. Did anyone speak in the car after leaving? Yeah. Someone said, "Holy, that was insane. I wish I'd recorded it." The accomplices' stories aligned. Erin was the catalyst. For 8 years, she has denied being the architect. Let me pose a hard question. Do you believe Erin's version, or do you feel compelled to believe it now? I mostly believe her. Some details might be off. You know your child. I'm not claiming she's innocent. She bears responsibility. But looking back now, I don't believe she was the mastermind. Not out of denial. I don't believe my daughter is evil. She was a participant, yes. But consider, a vulnerable 16-year-old girl, a controlling, sociopathic young man. Combine them, and this is the result. Charlie came from a fractured home, but found refuge with a friend's mother, Teresa. He confided in her. 2 theories exist. 1, he was the driving force, trying to win her back. 2, she was the malevolent force, compelling him. What's your take? Knowing Charlie, he wasn't evil. But before that night, we spoke often. He felt she was in danger. Danger how? Once my son was with them late. I called. I'm at the police station with Charlie. Why? Erin said her mom hit her. I was upset. Have you seen proof? Any marks? No. Then you're taking her word. From then, I felt she had a grip on him, manipulating his perception. You tried, gently, to get Charlie to walk away. Yes, but he genuinely loved her. Love can be a terrifying force. Let me ask you, when you went there, shooting, what was your intent? I was trying to kill him. Because I thought. I wasn't thinking. Was she worth all this? Unconditional love asks for no explanation, only acceptance. The first court day, we met Terry, fresh from the hospital, wounds visible. We discussed the death penalty. He looked at me and said, he ate at my table. He wanted the death penalty for Charlie and Charles. I said, okay. I remember my pastor saying we must pray for these young men. I thought, let them rot in hell. That was my anger. Each pre-trial hearing, I'd sit behind them, staring at their heads, thinking how easy it would be to bring a gun. I bought one. The day came. I had it in my truck, parked at the courthouse. I reached for it, and trembled. This isn't the answer. This won't bring them back. During proceedings, a key witness emerged, Erin's former boyfriend, Michael. His testimony was crucial. We learned you two dated. Why the breakup? Her parents disapproved. I need a man's honest answer. Did she ever speak of harming her parents? Yes. She told me she wanted to hire someone to kill them. Why? She said every time she found a boyfriend she liked, her mom and dad ruined it. Let me ask tough questions. You can be more honest now. It's clear you told people you wanted your family dead. Why? I've spoken with other girls in here. We all say things in anger at that age. I wish my parents were dead. You don't realize you must be careful with words, and with whom you share them. Sitting here now, how much responsibility do you accept? I'm still working on that. I played the blame game at first. I know I must take ownership for myself and others. Ownership for what, specifically? I don't know. I have more processing to do. Do you accept that your family would be alive if you had wished them to be? That you could have stopped this at any point? Yes. That must be an unbearable burden. The power to prevent it, and used. Yes. Perhaps the most extraordinary part is that Terry and Erin still have a relationship. That he still loves her. In my view, her father is in denial. He wants her freed. I've always seen Terry as doing what he must to survive. If that requires denying certain truths about Erin, I don't blame him. He has that right. Your father is an exceptional man. He stood by you, knowing what occurred. When did you first tell him? I was involved. About the second or third visit. He came alone. We were emotional. He showed me his scars. I cried, touched his arm, said I was sorry. That's when we truly talked. His reaction? From day one, he said even if I was the one standing over his bed, he'd still love me. I didn't believe it. I feared he'd abandon me. But he reassures me constantly. His love is unconditional. It's an astonishing thing. It draws praise and criticism. Some call it miraculous faith. Others say it's foolish. As a father myself, I understand his choice. You're all he has left. In the terrible months after, Terry chose to live on the property in a camper. The home was ash. Few traces remained. It seems an unusual choice. What drew you to stay? This was my home. I was trying to comprehend. Being here, I still felt connected to my family. Not just the tragedy, but the memories of my children playing. I needed to be here to heal. Those were dark months. I still sleep with a loaded gun nearby. Back then, I slept with it on my chest. I barely slept. When I did, I'd wake to the sound of gunshots in my mind, drenched in sweat. You've spoken of feeling guilt. No rational person would blame you. Have you forgiven yourself? People ask, who did you forgive first? I say Erin. That was a struggle, but I did. Then the boys. I forgave them. Yet I felt the weight. I realized I had to forgive myself. I didn't cause this. I didn't pull a trigger. If I'd known they were coming, I would have protected my family. It was a battle. In the shed, undamaged, I found a tote of letters. One from Penny read, "You're such a great father. You're my hero." I broke down. Your hero? I'm the opposite. I should have protected you all. I found little bags, our children's first haircuts. I opened them, held their hair. It was an emotional day. The struggle was finally reaching a place of self-forgiveness. Thank you, Terry. Bless you. Terry ultimately asked the courts to spare the accomplices the death penalty. Charles Wilkinson and Charles Wade received life without parole. Bobby Johnson must serve at least 20 years. Erin Caffey must serve a minimum of 42 years for murder. Have you had any contact with the other three? No. None. Do you think you ever will? I doubt it. Charlie has said he'll always love you. Do you love him still? I forgive him. That's different. Is that old passion there? No. What do you feel for him? Pity. His prison life must be grim. I think of his family too. Do you feel responsible for what happened to their son? That without your influence, he'd be free? I've never considered that. Now that I ask, should you? Yes. What will you do first when you're released? My dad and I discuss it. I want to visit the cemetery. Pay my respects. What will you say? I might not be able to speak. He said the same about his first visit. But it's necessary. Part of healing. Yes. Erin, this has been profound. You're not what I anticipated. I've interviewed few individuals implicated in atrocities like this. I have a deeper understanding of you, the human being, and the events. I wish you the best in your efforts to improve. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming. This story is a stark reminder of how small choices can ignite an inferno. If you found this exploration of guilt, manipulation, and fractured love compelling, please support the channel. A like helps more than you know, and subscribing to Winds of Thought ensures you don't miss our deep dives into the human condition. What's your take on unconditional love? Let us know below.